What remains from the trip? A different morning. Back in the city, the familiar rhythm of life enveloped their home. But that morning, Jamie noticed that everything seemed to slow down a bit. Both Amelia and the three girls still had a touch of the countryside, softer eyes, more smiles, and less haste. In the kitchen, Amelia was making coffee. She looked at her husband who was trying to fold the children's coats. "What are you doing?" "You're doing what a normal father does," Jamie said proudly. "But you're folding all three of their shirts into a ball." Jamie looked down. "Well, the art of freestyle arrangement." Amelia laughed, pulling him closer. "Coming back to the country made you gentle." Jamie frowned, pretending. "You're always gentle." "Oh yes, very gentle," Amelia teased. They both laughed, the sound gently spreading throughout the kitchen. Small but important changes. The children also had very lovely changes after the holidays. Dulcie sat by the window drawing sheep. "Lots of sheep. I want to farm when I grow up," she said. Elva pulled out a cardboard box and told Amelia, "I'm going to build a little wooden house like the one in the country." Alberta brought a teddy bear every 10 minutes and said, "Mommy, Brownie and I miss the pastures." Amelia turned to Jamie. "See? I think we should go out more." "I don't mind." Jamie's sudden decision. In the afternoon, as Jamie sat reading the script in his office, he looked out the window. The gentle afternoon breeze brought a feeling very much like home. And right then, an idea flashed through his mind. He stood up and walked into the living room where Amelia was cleaning up the children's toys. "Honey," Jamie said, his face suddenly serious. Amelia was startled. "What's wrong with you?" Jamie took a deep breath. "I want to buy a house in the country." Amelia froze for 5 seconds. "You mean, your hometown is in Northern Ireland?" "Yeah, a place we can go to when we want to escape the world." Amelia said nothing. She just looked at him with the eyes Jamie was used to seeing, eyes of understanding, of love, and of trust. After a minute of silence, she smiled. "I think that's a great idea." Jamie walked over and hugged her, gently saying, "I want the children to know their roots. And I want that place to be part of our family's memories." "Then let's do it," Amelia said, resting her head on his chest. A surprise call from home. That night, when the girls were asleep, Jamie's phone rang. The screen showed Rory's name, his childhood best friend. "Rory, what's up?" A country accent rang out on the other end. "You came back without calling me, you traitor." Jamie laughed out loud. "I am too busy with the kids." "Next time for sure." "Next time?" Rory asked again. "Are you going to bring the whole family back?" Jamie looked at Amelia, who was sitting on the sofa looking at him curiously. He replied, "Not just next time. I am thinking of buying a house near the countryside." There was silence on the other end for a few seconds. Then Rory shouted so loudly that Jamie had to pull the phone away. "What did you say?" "Oh my God, finally. The party is supposed to replace the new house." "Calm down." Jamie laughed and shook his head. "There's no party." Rory cleared his throat. "If this isn't a celebration, what's there to celebrate? I'll take care of it. The village misses you, you famous but kind man." Jamie was silent for a moment. His heart warmed. Those words, from an old friend, made him feel as if there was still a part of the world that hadn't changed. The children heard the news. The next morning, at breakfast, Jamie announced, "Kids, I have news." All three of them looked up, eyes wide with anticipation. "Mommy and Daddy are thinking of buying a little house in the country." Immediately. "Really, Daddy?" Dulcie shouted. "We're going to have a second house?" Elva exclaimed. "Does Brownie have her own room too?" Alberta asked, hugging her teddy bear. Jamie laughed. "Of course." All three girls jumped up and danced around the table. singing homemade songs about home and sheep. Amelia looked at the scene and smiled at her husband. So the decision was unanimous. Jamie crossed his arms confidently. I knew it. The new journey. A week later, they were back in Northern Ireland. Not for another vacation, but to find a second home for the family. As they drove through the old roads, Jamie felt his heart beat faster, like a young man returning to where he belonged. Amelia put her hand on his. Are you nervous? I guess so. I never thought I'd bring my family here, to live. But we are. Jamie looked at her for a long time, his eyes filled with gratitude. The car drove past the old fields, past the school he'd attended, and then stopped in front of a small wooden house overlooking the valley. Amelia took his hand. Jamie, this place is so beautiful. The girls ran out onto the lawn, as if this had been their home all along. Jamie stood watching, his heart filled with emotion. This wasn't just a weekend getaway anymore. This was part of his family's new future. A new beginning, where it all began.